In 2022, police raided Afroman's home looking for a massive drug operation. They found nothing, but they accidentally helped him make millions. This is the story of how a one-hit wonder turned a federal-level embarrassment into a business empire in one. Joseph Edgar Foreman, known to the world as Afroman, is far more than an industry label. He is an independent mogul who turned a tactical police raid into a global marketing masterclass. Today, we see Afroman for who he truly is in 2026. A businessman operating with total autonomy, defending his peace on a 5-acre Ohio estate. With a net worth back at a solid $5 million, he has proven that a career built on authenticity can outlast any corporate mandate or fleeting trend. To understand where he's going, you have to see where he started. Born in 1974 in the gritty environments of South Central Los Angeles and Palmdale, Joseph was a musical prodigy from a jump. He was playing drums and guitar in church before he could even drive, developing a soulful, melodic foundation that would eventually set his hip-hop style apart with its organic, live instrument feel. But he was also an early entrepreneur with a sharp eye for market demand and community engagement. By the 8th grade, he recorded his first tape about a teacher who kicked him out of school for sagging his pants. And he sold 400 copies to his classmates. That was his first lesson in the power of the platform. Truth, even when wrapped in comedy, is a powerful currency that people are willing to pay for when it reflects their own reality. But before we step inside the raids, the lawsuits, and the resilient empire of the hungry hustler, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. This story is just getting started. That independent spirit eventually led to a cultural earthquake in the year 2000. Because I Got High wasn't just a song. It was a global phenomenon that perfectly captured the laid-back, stoner culture zeitgeist of the new millennium. It hit #1 in 11 countries and earned him a Grammy nomination in 2002 for Best Rap Solo Performance. Then came Crazy Rap, or Colt 45, which cemented him as the king of comedic storytelling. His blend of satire and hip-hop did more than just sell records. It paved the way for a generation of artists, from Lil Dicky to modern meme culture, who use humor as a weapon and a branding tool. But when the industry machine tried to tighten its grip and mold him into a caricature, Afroman didn't play their game. He took his earnings, went back to his roots, and realized that he didn't need a major label's permission to maintain a legacy. He chose the hungry hustler model, owning his masters, running his own distribution through Cosmic Wire, and keeping 100% of his streaming royalties. While his peers were stuck in 360 deals that siphon away their earnings, Afroman was building a recurring revenue stream that pays him every time a song is played. This financial strategy is the backbone of his $5 million fortune. Here's the real play. Every stream, every download, every viral video. He owns it. No label cuts, no middlemen, just pure profit flowing back to the source. While Afroman was away from home, Ohio sheriff's deputies conducted a high-profile raid on his property. They found absolutely nothing, but the raid left a trail of senseless destruction. For Afroman, this wasn't just a legal violation. It was a personal attack on his sanctuary. His wife, Angie Foreman, has been his rock through these battles, helping him maintain the household while he navigated the fallout. The raid was particularly painful because the deputies seized cash that Afroman had explicitly earmarked for his 2 children's futures. Instead of just filing a standard lawsuit, Afroman took the security footage of the officers, including the infamous clip of a deputy eyeing a lemon pound cake in the kitchen, and turned it into a series of viral diss tracks like "Will You Help Me Repair My Door?" and "Lemon Pound Cake." It was a brilliant flip of the narrative, using the tools of surveillance to humiliate his detractors while crowdsourcing his legal defense through millions of views. He weaponized his creativity to turn victimhood into a masterclass in PR and profit. What started as a failed raid turned into one of the most unexpected paydays of his career. The officers didn't take the mockery sitting down. 7 deputies sued him for $4 million, claiming invasion of privacy and emotional distress. The battle dragged on until March 18, 2026, when the case reached a dramatic climax in an Ohio courtroom. dressed in a striking, head-to-toe American flag suit that symbolized his belief in constitutional protection. Afroman stood his ground. He argued that as an American citizen, he had every right to criticize and satirize public servants who wrongly invaded his sanctuary. After only 6 hours of deliberation, the jury delivered a total victory for the rapper, affirming that artistic freedom outweighs a government official's bruised ego. As he walked out of that courtroom, he didn't just celebrate a personal win. He celebrated a win for the First Amendment, telling reporters that America won. Where other rappers like Rick Ross flaunt 100-room mansions, Afroman finds his horsepower in what he calls American iron. His garage reflects a deep appreciation for classic Detroit muscle and lowrider culture. A pristine Cadillac Eldorado for that old-school luxury. A 1970s Chevrolet Monte Carlo with a heavy V8 rumble, and a candy yellow 62 Impala that represents the peak of lowrider craftsmanship. He even keeps a police-style Ford Crown Victoria as a satirical trophy of his legal wars. These cars aren't just status symbols. They're mechanical extensions of a man who values soul over modern sticker price. His 5-acre retreat in Winchester, Ohio, serves as his family sanctuary and a self-contained content factory. It is here that he balances his role as a father and husband with his work as a philanthropist and advocate. Beyond the music, Afroman has quietly funded scholarships and supported local youth programs, ensuring his legacy is more than just beats and bars. He has evolved his brand into serious cultural advocacy, working with organizations like NORML to push for cannabis reform. Whether he's performing charity concerts or mentoring young independent artists, Afroman's influence in 2026 is rooted in a desire to see others achieve the same freedom he fought so hard to keep. From small-town bars in Ohio to massive festivals across Europe, Afroman's constant touring schedule proves his reach is global. He doesn't need the mainstream machine because he has a cult following that spans generations. As we look at Afroman in 2026, currently headlining his Freedom of Speech tour, the picture is clear. He is a man who took the worst life could throw at him and used it as high-octane fuel. He is living proof that you can't cancel a man who owns his own masters, protects his own family, and isn't afraid to speak his truth. In a culture obsessed with excess, where we see endless montages of Bugattis, sprawling megamansions, and diamond chains, Afroman proves that authenticity is the rarest luxury of all. Joseph Foreman didn't just get high. He got even, he got ahead, and he built a lasting empire that belongs to no one but himself. Because in an industry built on control, Afroman chose ownership. And that's a game you can't rig. If you enjoyed this look into the quiet power of Afroman, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you're the first to know when our next deep dive drops. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.